Hello and welcome to round number 4 of the Anti-Stall Racing RSS Formula Supreme series here on Assetto Corsa. My first time on Assetto Corsa, as well as with these cars, the Super Formula cars from over in Japan. Today we are at Imola. First time I've actually been on this Imola circuit as well. It's quite a lot of firsts for me here today, and I will be joined at some point by my co-commentator, but sadly having a few issues, I believe, with Discords. But we are in qualifying right now, as we just witnessed a slight crash, as it's open qualifying, which I'm not used to, because iRacing does mostly lone qualifying, and now here we are on a Assetto Corsa with cars on track at the same time, which is brilliant, I think. And I'm not exactly certain how many cars we have. It's all over the place for me. I think 17, 16 maybe, because I'm not included and my name's up there. But I was told that low 26s were a good time, and pole at the moment is a 124.2. And I think I'm being joined now, maybe? Maybe not, maybe?
Ah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm now... all sorted?
Didn't really want to corroborate, so I'm trying the laptop now.
Trying the laptop, okay.
This is a bit better. I don't know what's happening to my desktop.
You're all good then. Can you see in the Discord? Fine, can you see
I can.
Lovely. Brilliant. Right, so practice got cut short as there was some server issues, so instead of everybody having an hour open practice, they had 30 minutes, but they have 15 minutes here, well 6 now left, of open qualifying, as the leader puts another good time in as a 123.8, and he is a long way ahead at the moment. They will have to pit in the race, as there is a forced pit window between the 5-minute mark and the 25-minute mark of the race. So 5 minutes after the start of the race, they can start the pits. It is said that these cars can go all the way, I believe, on fuel. So I don't know if people are just changing their tyres in the pit stop or not. So that could be a nice little strategy, whether you have a full tank of fuel at the start or just a little bit, and then you just swap tyres or what. We'll see what the strategy comes down to there. As well as they have the warm-up lap followed by a rolling start in these cars, which have 550 brake horsepower. They only weigh 670 kg, so that's lighter than my Mini. So that's a very light car. Their power to weight ratio is 1.22 kg/horsepower, which is brilliant. I couldn't tell you the top speed on miles per hour, but I can tell you it's 300 plus km/h, which means absolutely nothing to me. But there we go. They also have a push to pass button, so I would call that KERS, but I don't actually think it is KERS, but I remember KERS as being the push to pass button, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty certain DTM and other touring cars have something along those lines, so they do have a push to pass. Did they have DRS? I'm not seeing anyone open the rear wing, so I assume they don't. They just have the push to pass instead. So there you go. That's one for the overtaking, which I'm sure you can do around here. So Jason is on pole. Second is Sebastian, which it's all a bit close after Jason, or Jansen maybe, not Jason. It's Jansen, I'd say. Jason would be slightly spelled different. So Jansen I'm going to go for.
Yeah, and just to convert the kilometers per hour, it would be about 180 plus miles per hour, I think, in non-European units.
Lovely. That sounds a lot better to me.
Yeah.
Now I know.
It's quite fast.
Yes.
I think at those speeds you don't really care if it's 300 or 350.
Yeah, exactly. You just
hitting the wall is not going to be nice either way.
Yes, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, it's not the speed that gets you, it's the sudden stop. So I don't know how good the brakes are. I assume the brakes are really good on these cars. Hopefully no one has any sudden stops here today. I did see that last week, well, I was going to say last weekend, but it's Thursday. So last Thursday, they had to do a restart after there was a big crash at the top of the Watkins Glen straight. So hopefully no sort of dramas today. 1 ice cream per win and a bonus ice cream for lapping for lapping P2. Well, he is what's that? 2 That's a good 1.5 seconds out in front at the moment. That is open setup, of course. So everyone's running different setups, but there has been setups sent about the place. So maybe a few drivers using the same setup. But I'd like to think that Jansen is not using the same setup. Maybe. Well, if he is, he could just be an absolutely fantastic driver. We never know.
Jensen is leading the championship with 3 consecutive wins out of 3 races. So I don't think it is purely down to the setup that he's now about 1.5 seconds in front of the second place Sebastian van den Heuvel.
I agree there. Yeah. It's I'd definitely say 80% driver that or more.
Yeah, just about. But pretty interesting seeing P2 and 3. They are next to each other in the championship. Sebastian having 48 points and Tristan Koenig having 28, if I am not mistaken, as someone goes off in the background. That did not look very nice. But I'm sure they're just fine pressing the escape button and returning to the pits, as there's now 2 minutes left of the session. They'll have to be quick if they want to get another lap without ruining the tires completely before starting their flying lap. But yeah, Tristan Koenig and Sebastian van den Heuvel next to each other in the championship. It could switch right now, depending on the outcome of this race, of course. And if we look down a bit further, we will see that Kevin Stam is at 24 points, 4 points behind Tristan Koenig. And in 5th place we have Ali G with 18, and between the 5th place and the 8th place in the standings there's only 4 points difference. So I think that is going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top in that battle. That is Ali G, Leon Ellerode, Valdemar Dorek, Stefan Gillich, George Romington, and Jason McLaren. If I did not pronounce any of those names, I probably have.
That sounds good to me. I wouldn't have attempted some of the longer ones, I must admit. Maybe the only English names I'm going to attempt today.
I'm trying to stay away from all the fancy Eastern European names.
Yes, as well. the longer ones.
I do have to come across those. Having seen some pretty odd names in iRacing throughout my years back when I was still racing.
So this to me is interesting. Vincent here is just getting an absolute toe here into turn 1, and he's just started a lap. As we now it switches to George Russell in a red car on the grass.
That's an odd Mercedes, Williams, I should say.
Yeah, it's a
Mercedes is for next season, or as he goes off again, that is not gonna be nice for him.
Yeah,
and into the wall.
That's what he thought about that lap.
He knows it's done, so that's gonna be team in the standings. That is going to be a P14 at most. Interesting to see if Mr. Gores is going to be able to pass him. Did not set a very fast time, 1:43.
Yes, we got 2:17 out there as well. 2:17. That's not.
Yeah. Well, it is very common to see drivers doing a banker lap as. Was that George Russell?
But we're still on board with him, I believe. It says we're on board with him, but we did watch him drive into the wall, so that does.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. But back to the topic, the banker lap. Very common to see that drivers go for a solid lap, trying to get a good lap time in, so they can throw away the rest of the laps if they do make mistakes, but still get a decent position. But a 2:17, that is not going to be enough for more than P16, as we see. Neither is 1:43, even though it is more than 20 seconds faster.
The P10, 11 and 12 are very close, all within the same couple of hundreds of seconds there. It's insanely
P6
close.
to P10 within 1 second. And actually, P11 and 12 just behind P10. That is one tight battle. But there's been a lot of talking about the lap times at this track. Some people saying 26, people saying even more, a bit less. I think we have Jensen Bits with the answer to that. A 1:23.672. That's fast.
Yeah, very fast.
I think the other drivers would agree with that.
So I think we have, there's 2 drivers that didn't set a lap time that are below me apparently, so I think we have about 19 cars, give or take. Yeah, the gap to first, from P2 to first, is probably the biggest one, other than the last 2, on the whole grid there. Right, if I just don't grid up, I believe I should be fine, as they do a warm-up lap, I believe, so I should be fine as long as I don't grid up. Because I don't want to be with back.
It would be a slightly different approach to commentating if you did join the race.
Yeah, it'd be very, very difficult.
Front row seats, but wouldn't be able to view much of the race.
Yeah, I believe if I just don't press the button, that's the plan. Don't press the button, let them all drive away on their warm-up lap. The 2 cars underneath me, I think, aren't racing, so we would have had 19, but we have 17 instead. I believe because of how this...
pretty big field. Is that the biggest we've had this season?
What did they say before? 16 and 17. It's close. So the lights are going to go on, but I swear there was a warm-up lap last time. I might be wrong. I thought there was. The lights are going on like they're about to properly go. That's me.
It may not be a rolling start.
Yeah, that does not look like a rolling start. That looks like a full-on... Yeah, it's a standing start, definitely. Lovely. I should be fine. Right. As long as it doesn't put me in the race 2, we'll go. And couldn't say exactly who we're looking at. Right now I can. No, I can't. There's cars everywhere. And everybody is actually safely through.
It's Bits, of course, still leading this race by 4 seconds already.
Yeah, he's gone. He's made a gap immediately. Right, I should... Yes, I'm lovely. I'm right. So 16 cars. Believe there. Oh, there's one spotted to the wall there on the left. I'm not sure who that was. One car has gone round. He was in the mid... He was sort of high. Oh, we've gone 3 wide there up the hill. We've had the unholy cake has had to back out of it. He's survived. Not sure who it was that spun. Maybe Mr. Gratz has spun round there, as he looks to be furthest back. Everyone diving into the sharp right-hander of, I'm going to say turn 12, as we go back up the hill towards the house with the chicane next to it, which is absolutely fantastic. Oh, there's a car gone off there in the back on the blue car. I'm not sure exactly who that is. We might find out a little bit later. He's side by side now with a yellow car. Still not sure who the names are. We've gone on now. Maybe one of them's the Alexis. Which one is it? A lock up there from the blue car on the inside. The yellow car is the Alexis. So I'm trying to pass. I'm going to say professional Anax. And now we're just jumping around. We're on Joseph, which is towards turn 1. Not going to make a move there. There's a car just behind him. You can see in the mirror, which is lovely to see that.
Yeah, pretty nice start. Pretty clean start as well, I would say. A lot of spins, of course, and lockups that force people off the track. Is that Hugo going off track?
It is.
Is that the same car we saw going off track in Variante Alta? It might be. It was a blue car as well.
Yeah, and also there's a yellow car next to it, so maybe...
Not an ideal start for him, certainly. But Jensen Bits, of course, still leading by 20 seconds.
Well, Leon's gone for a move here.
Really,
is he through? I believe he's going to get the move done. They're still somewhat side by side. I'd say that's done now. It is. Up to P8.
Lovely
and
move.
oh, another car from the background. I'm not sure. A slight.
Really need a lot of courage to make it side by side through turn 9 and 12.
Oh, there's a car around
9
there.
and 10, sorry. Oh,
Is that's a car round?
Spin.
I'm not sure who that would be. Is it Professional MX? I think it might be. It is. Maybe some contact there. I'm not sure who with. Maybe Hugo. There was a blue car driving slowly past the incident, so the field has spread dramatically here.
yeah, so I was about to say a pretty clean start. Does it look like Alexis has gone off, perhaps? P13 still will have to catch up to Xmas. But yeah, as you said, the field has spread out quite a lot. And we saw it even after turn 3. I would say,
we're off. Joseph
that
is
is your
off.
code off.
That was a big impact. Now gonna have to spin it back round. Lovely. Off the road. That's a lot of positions lost. And I'm not sure who's come out. Oh, he's got another car to his left now. Up the inside he goes.
He's just gonna be turning in behind the Xmas. Will he be P12 now?
I think you might be right. I think you might be right.
The standings are not updating as fast as we would have liked it to.
No, they cannot. It's not keeping up with. It's not being able to keep up with the cars here.
It is not, no. Pretty hard to commentate from, and we don't get aided in the way that we would like, most certainly. But yeah, pretty spread out. I don't think if we can count on the gaps that we are seeing on our left side here. 30 seconds to 34 seconds, 35, 36. And I don't think it's because Fenton Heuvel spun around. I think it might just be Assetto Corsa as Leo goes a bit wide. Does have
it's just
Hugo right behind him. Might be able to take advantage of that.
Right, we're just looking at Mr.
Going
Gross here. There we go, and if you're right.
Follow that by oh, and he does go past.
Oh, he's trying to come back at him. There's 3 cars involved here. There's a car that's behind. That's got to run to the inside. They go. That's going to be Hugo is up the inside. That's done. Oh, there's 2 cars off here. What's going on there? Action everywhere. That is Vincent that's just gone back on the track in the purple car. So we've now, who's he got behind him? Hugo. Oh, I think it's Hugo. As we're watching, apparently we're watching Vincent on this camera. Now we're watching Alexis. There is a move happening into the chicane in the hairpin there. The blue car there up the inside of the yellow car, which could be. Is it Alexis versus?
Xmas and
yes.
Cardoet.
Oh, we're going slowly. Who's going slowly? X-Max is in the pits. That's what's happening here. We are 5 minutes in now, so pit window has begun. I've broken the rubber on my pencil, so that's Vincent driving down the hill now. So the gaps are massive. So if X-Max has just gone into the pit lane and Vincent's going into the last corner, the gaps are huge.
Well, then the standings might be right. If there is that big of a gap between
P4 now as he gone into the pits.
Saying looks like they're all gonna pit early or what? Well, Madurek certainly going for the fast pit strategy, and I've heard there's been a bit of talk about the pit strategy, where you of course need to fuel with at least 1 liter, but are people gonna be changing their tires? That is the question. Will you go for the long run?
Hugo's now in.
Time saved by not taking the tires. As Hugo goes in as well, yes.
Lexis is in as well. There's a bunch of cars betting here then, so it's very interesting. Who we got here? We got Kevin versus Unholy Cake just behind for P7 and P8. And here's the leader. It's decided to show us him. He's in a green car, by the way, just in case we don't see it. Well, he's green and white. That might be the only time we see him, as we now watch. Alexis is now leaving the pits. They're making their stop. In P13, couldn't tell you how close George Russell is to Alexis, as the gap says 0, but I'm sure it's more than that. Actually, it may have swapped as Alexis pitted. Kevin and Unholy Cake still very close to each other as they come into the last couple of corners once again. We're looking at P4, which is just pitted a lap ago. So I do believe that he is about 100 seconds behind the leader because he has pitted. So it makes sense.
Yeah, but looks like he didn't lose any time from pitting actually.
Yeah, didn't
That
lose any
can't be true.
places. I'm not sure where P5
Yeah, places,
is
of
then.
course. Sorry, not time. He most certainly would have lost time to the guys in front of him.
And now George
having not
Russell
pitted.
pits. So, interesting. We've had about 5 pit stops already. So, yeah, interesting. Let's see how many more pit. Obviously, with the time limit on it, you've only got 16 more minutes till you can pit, so. Kevin and Unholy Cake still very close there as they go over the hill. Look at that. Lovely to see. Close racing, close following. And then again, here you go. We found where P5 is, just behind P4. But of course, P4 has pitted. Mr. Grudes, now in the pits. Vincent on boards. He has
Would love to go back to that battle between P4 and 5.
Well, we have X-Max trying to pass. Well, it's just gone to P6 and 7. We did have X-Max trying to go around the outside of Vincent, but that's disappeared. We're back to Kevin versus Unholy Cake. Oh, there's a spinner. P16 has spun. Has not pitted yet as well. Nice orange car.
Was being driven by a Dutch driver, as it seems.
Kevin's in the pits.
Noreg. But it is a lovely track. Imola certainly fits the Formula style cars, or
Yes.
cars with high downforce in general.
Definitely. If that's
Such as Formula 1. And just to compare the times a bit, I found the fastest laps from 2018. Valtteri Bottas with a pole of 113.6 and Lewis Hamilton with the fastest lap in the race, a 115.5, or just below. So we are a few seconds off pace, I'm sure to say, but this perhaps compares a bit more to the Formula 3 cars, or Formula 2 cars, I should say, not Formula 3.
I think I agree with you there. Only Holy Cake is now PA after Kevin, I believe, pitted. So, also Kevin's pit stop very quick. I noted, very quick pit stop compared to some of the other drivers.
Yeah, I've heard Kevin talking about just going and taking that 1 liter of fuel that is mandatory for you to take during a pit stop, and then just going off again, which won't lose him as much time as those taking tires, but you will of course lose time in the end, having driven half an hour on one tires.
Oh, here's a battle. We got Leon versus, I don't think it's Hugo, is it? Unholy Cake versus Leon. It is Leon versus Unholy Cake then. So Leon now trying to make a move. Oh, look at that, Unholy Cake, big defense move, covering the inside into the next chicane. We've gone back to Jason in the lead. Well, oh, Jason's he's lapping somebody there into the chicane is what he's done there. He's lapped George Russell. I wonder if we go back to the battle for P8 there. We've still got it. There we go. Leon versus Unholy Cake. All over the curbs. Very, very wide from Leon. That would have got you doubled off in F1, but I don't know if it will in the game. Who's that closing in the background too? Hugo, maybe. I believe Hugo's in a blue car, so that might not be Hugo. I think that might be Alexis of P13, to be fair, who has pitted and did come out the pits actually behind Vincent, so maybe that makes sense. No, I said Vincent. It's Leon, isn't it? That's there. Continuing the battle, Leon versus Unholy Cake into the last 2 corners. Would we say Leon seems quicker than Unholy Cake at the moment? Just good defending?
Seemed like it, but
oh, we
did see
pits him.
Unholy Cake. Yeah, okay, as Leon goes into the pits, might be a bit annoyed, as that is a very odd spin, I must say. Certainly the first time I've seen a spin like that.
Yeah, we just
but
yeah.
Leon may be going for the early pit stop to avoid having to battle with Unholy Cake, as we did see him defend quite hard, and as we know, defending loses you time.
Yes.
So I think he is going to try and get a bit of an undercut on Leon, and just getting that hammer time in a bit later during the race.
I think it's a smart move. Definitely a smart move.
The strat. I'm a bit confused because P5 Michu Man I think that is pronounced.
Yeah,
It has been 0.0 seconds behind Valdemar Durek for most of the race, actually, which would be pretty impossible, I would say.
Also, when you go on
been
board,
side by side for this long.
Yeah, if you go on board when it goes on board as well, I've noticed that he's not anywhere near a car either. So...
No, the field is still pretty spread out, I would say, as you mentioned earlier during this race. Of course, a few battles here and there, but I think it may be because of the different pit stops.
Oh, who's that? That's Kevin off.
Oh, Kevin Stamoff.
Back on. Who was he?
Didn't
just
look like
behind?
he lost much time or position to that mistake of his.
Yeah, got away with that one. Didn't end up in the wall. Back on board with Machinima Man. I'm gonna say that is. Lots of understeer. Disc glowing red.
Doesn't seem like he is
No, he's not
close to Dorek unless that's the blue car in front of him. I am not quite sure.
I would say
how
that
the
is.
car
Yeah.
colors and drivers
Oh,
are
who's that off?
connected.
That's.
Oh.
B16, the orange car is off.
I believe that was Norek, perhaps. Does seem like it was his car.
It's telling me
Team in
we're...
the standings.
Oh, there you go. Professional X-Max has just rejoined the road from the inside there. Couldn't even see him, but he has rejoined as we now go. Oh, well, we're round. We are round. Mr. Grox has spun around the last corner there. He's now getting out the way of a car and rejoins now. X-Max is pitted again. I swear he already has, but he's in the pit stops. In the pits again, as we understeer very wide. On board with apparently Mr. Don't know. It's not telling me. It says Mr. Grix on my thing, but the white bit that tells me who we're on board with has disappeared. So now I know who we're on board with now. But apparently that was Mr. Grix. But we saw him in a grey car at the last corner, so it might be Hugo that we were on board with. I believe he's driving in a blue car. Who is behind Machinima Man? Is it? It's not actually Joseph, is it? It's a lapped car in the orange car behind him here.
Yeah, no, I think you're correct. I don't think there's a driver right behind him on track.
Yeah.
And position at the same time. Is this Xmas going into the pits again?
I believe this is him now leaving the pits. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He does
Makes a
have
bit more sense, but having pitted 2 times, of course.
Who's that off on the
due to
road?
damage?
Someone's off the road. Is that on Holy Cake or is that... No, that will be... I believe that's Alexis or somebody else that's now pitting in front of Leon there. I don't think that's on Holy Cake. It is... Oh, there you go. It's Oh, I don't want to attempt that. I'm not...
Confusing that we have the Steam names as name as well as the driver's names on the car. Unless the driver name on the car is not correct.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, how annoying. If only they were correct, how much easier that would be. Oh, we're spun round. With the P5 has spun.
Oh.
Oh no.
And that's not a nice place. Is that the second to last corner? No, that is not.
Where is that?
Can't see when track that
is. Who's spun into the pit lane there?
And he spun again?
He's just spun into the pit. Somebody spun into the lane. Did he spin into the pit? Oh, who's this now? Is someone on Holy Cakes had to drive round Machinima that spun round in the pit entry? That is... I've never seen that. I don't think I ever... I can't think of a time I last saw that.
I think even Maspin would have been proud of that.
Yeah. So it's Vincent...
If I recall correctly, he spun in the pit lane as well.
Has he?
Right, back when they... I believe they did.
Oh, someone's off in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Off into the gravel and into the wall with the rear of the car. Is it Josephine? Because it says we're on board of him and he's not come round. It is. So Josephine's dropped it out of the second chicane. There he is. He's just come back on. Now he goes around the hairpin.
A free pass for Kevin Stam, or is he too far behind?
Oh, that's surely got to be a pit stop, isn't it?
That the field is that separated.
Oh, there's another spin, and that's Leon. No, it's Jason. It's the leader. The leader's spun. Oh. He's done a full 360 and got going. The leader has spun, and is this tyre wear or what? What's going on? It can't be that. He's just
after 18 minutes. I don't believe it is. I think it's just an honest mistake of his. Can't be after that
Well, he turned it into a full 360. That was fantastic.
That was spectacular. But of course, Sebastian Heuvel being that far behind, it wouldn't have made that much of an impact on the outcome.
I think the car in front of... Oh, well, we're watching. Josephine's pitted now. The car that just actually...
It could have already pitted once, haven't
he? He did just drop it into the wall, though, so if there is damage on, that could be him just... Oh, he's already gone again. Oh, wow, that was... If it is... I don't know. I don't know how damage works in Assetto Corsa. So unless he's just done like a quick repair sort of thing from iRacing, where he's had to go in the pits and sort the rear wing out, maybe. He's now just lost a place to Kevin, though. Kevin's just gone past him. We're on board of him now. Kevin's actually lapping Hugo, which you can see there, has a slight connection issue, the blue car. And now Jason pits after doing a 360. So 6 minutes to go with the pit stops. And this is insane. So Vincent has now... I don't know where he is. He's P11. Doesn't have any cars around him, and he's got quite a bit of a gap to Hugo, I think. And P2's in now. So the gaps are correct. I think the gaps are all to the leader, though, from what I can...
Have Justin Koenig pitted? I've not seen him in the pits.
No, you're right. He hasn't pitted. P15
I believe
now.
So we will see him in the pits by the end of this lap. Yes. If you will have to pit within the pit window that is specified to be from the 5th to the 20th minute. And I'm wondering how that's going to affect the battle for P2. Because they were fairly close, I would say.
Oh, we've just... we didn't see
not
that.
As close as some of the other races that we've seen.
P6.
So Cornelius...
in the battle.
Off again as he spins around yet another time.
And rejoins. I think we saw... Did we see... I'm not sure if we did or not, but I feel like I saw somebody cut the chicane massively. I'm not sure if we caught it or what, but somebody, I swear, was cutting that chicane. I didn't know they were stopping. It could be a connection thing, but they fully jumped it, if not.
Yeah, it does seem like that the blue car have
a little bit of connection
some
issue.
kind of connection problem.
So the leaders both pitted, and apparently the gap... Oh, there's a car off, and it's Kevin. Kevin, oh, he was at the front of the queue.
Up again.
Kevin was at the front of this queue, and he has hit the wall too, only slightly, but he's now at the back of this queue. Joseph will now go up to P6. There you go. Yeah, all the positions are fine. He will have Kevin behind him by a couple seconds. He also has... Who's that behind him? Another car. I'm not sure which car that will be. But it's not someone that he's actually battling with in the results. As Vincent pits, which I swear we've already seen him pit.
Kevin to spin 2 times. Has Justin Koenig not pitted yet?
No.
I have not seen him pit.
No, I haven't.
Question if he have already pitted then?
Question where he is on track too, because the leaders both pitted.
So.
And oh, there's a move up the inside. There's a bit of contact. Joseph gets past, goes back up the inside now. I'm not sure he's back. Oh, he spun. They both spin.
No. Hits the leader Vince.
Oh, it's P5. Oh, they were battling on track then, or were they getting lapped? Because the gap says that they're a whole... Oh, wow, what's...
Mitchum man. Not going to be very happy about that one, but does manage to get out.
That means Kevin's passed them both. Like, with that happen. That is just...
That's
Joseph now pits.
Not to be able to get tangled up in that.
Yeah, very. That's... They must have been battling. Joseph's now gone. I think Joseph's now out. Oh, there you go. P3. There we go. Tristan has pitted.
But is it too late? That's the question. We are 22
no, he has
minutes into the round.
So he has 3 minutes left of the pit window.
Sorry. Oh, so he still has time.
He's all good, yeah. He's all good on that front.
Yeah. But the question is if he is going to be able to get past Sebastian van den Heuvel. Going out onto the track. Where is Sebastian coming from? Has he already passed him?
I believe so, yeah.
Like he already have
right, the gaps
15 seconds behind.
The gaps seem to be looking like they're working themselves out now, I think. Oh, it says Mr. Grits is off, but I believe that's actually Hugo, because Mr. Grits is in a silver car from what we've been seeing. As we're about to find out, because Hugo is going to come up with Hugo pitting, isn't it? Here we go. Tell me I'm right. Or tell me no one's pitting. No, apparently no one on my leaderboard is actually pitting. Joseph was already in the pits, so that is it's confused, but I'm pretty certain we're on board of Hugo.
What's the yellow? A bit confusing, not easy to.
I think the connection with Hugo's made the thing not the computer's lost him in the shuffle. Is what's happened there, because his gap is going up slowly compared to everyone else's is very quick. So maybe that's why he's in the pits. That's what I'm thinking anyway. We'll see as he comes out now. There you go. There I'm right. Look, the thing changed. Oh, there's side by side. That's a lapped car, so it's okay. Not to be too excited. Vincent, I believe, is just behind P5 Mishima here, but Vincent will be a lap down to.
But that is that must be Joseph then, right? Still chasing down the Macho Man from the contact they had earlier on in this race.
Oh, who's that? There's a spin there. Is that Leon? Full 360. Keep it going. Nothing happened, and it is lovely. Ruined tyres now, but that's an interesting one. So we have lost Joseph fully from the race as well. That's 3 close cars. Very close cars, that is. Who's that behind the...
Doesn't seem to be here anymore. Well, you can say a lot of things about the spins that we've had this race.
Yes.
But
this is Alexis getting past. There you go, Hugo. We're on board of Hugo now. There we go. It's found him again.
Is it pass for position or is it...
No, he's lapping.
It must be.
He's lapping Alexis, and then he's got... Who's he got? Vincent. Vincent was in a purple car, I believe. So let's see. Who's that? That's P5, I believe, just going past Alexis as well. A lot of lap there's Mr.
That's Cote, right? Cote right behind Mitchell Man.
Oh, it could.
It does seem like it. The yellow car and the green and white car again battling for P5.
Hugo is all over the back.
Let's hope this one doesn't end in tears just like the last one did. As some of the traffic does interfere with that battle. Is that Hugo, having to...
Hugo's defending.
Be getting lapped by Kota now. But why would he defend if he's being lapped?
Yeah, so it can't be...
Is our timing screen wrong?
Who's that in the wall? That's Alexis is in the wall, so I think it was Alexis. So it was Alexis behind Hugo, which was, I believe, trying to unlap himself. So... And
yes, I have confused Cody with Alexis. I am sorry about that one. Would have been an interesting battle if it was Cody that we were following there. Is Cody pitting?
Oh, he's I believe
he has been pitting for quite a long time.
Yeah, I believe
now,
he's fully out now. But if he is out, he hasn't been passed by anybody like Kevin. So I'm very confused by that bit.
Is Hugo going right? No.
So who's Hugo?
2 blue cars.
2 blue cars.
I think Hugo is the blue and yellow car, right?
That's what I think. As we look at Tristan, just driving around in P3 all by himself. The other blue car was P4, I believe. So one of them's Hugo. Yeah, and one was
I'm not sure.
So which way? Here we go. I think Derek's passing Hugo here, lapping him. That's what I believe's happening. Very close, and that will be done.
Very nice pass. Very good use of the slipstream that you have all the way up from the final corner through turn 1, which one could argue is a corner. Or isn't a corner, I should say.
Oh no, while they're off, the blue cars are off. Oh, and I don't... Oh no. Because that's all I got to say about that, because I don't think they're racing for position.
There is no much to say about that, no.
No.
Of course, nice to being able to battle someone in a way where everybody is spread out, but not optimal for it to end up like
disaster. No, yeah, I don't know the positions, because if Joseph has decided to give up and is in P6, it hasn't changed from him being in P6, so it's confused the lap timers a little bit. So I don't know where Kevin and Unholy Cake are at the moment.
No, it does seem like the standings haven't really been helping us a lot this race. I've been a bit off, especially with the pit stops. We've had to rely on knowing who is who by delivery and seeing who enters the pit at the right time.
Who are we watching here then? Alexis is trying to pass a Hugo, I believe, here. And round the outside into turn 1. Is that a done deal? It is. Nicely done. I do believe that's unlapping himself, maybe Alexis, after having a bit of a spinning start. Kevin's off. Kevin just rejoins. He's had a spinning adventure. And Unholy Cakes is in a red car, a red and black car. So if the car behind is a red and black one, it will be Unholy Cake. I can't see in the mirrors. I'm trying to look. No, it's not. It's somebody else.
It seems like it is Janssen Bits, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think you could be right there.
Or perhaps I've completely forgot who the other guy in a white and green car is. But he was certainly further down the field.
Leon was in one, I believe. And we're watching Pine to pass Vincent, I believe this is. Vincent was in the purple car.
Yeah, Michuman, I believe he was in a white and green car, so that might be the one we're following here. Is that a battle for 4th place? Durek being in the blue car, if I'm not mistaken?
I think
Can we go back to that, please?
Yeah, please, robot. We're all watching Alexi with Hugo.
We would like to watch the battle before.
We need to start telling the robot off.
Well, we got rid of the robot commentator. Perhaps we should get rid of the robot camera control as well.
Who are we watching
Manual
there?
labor is just sometimes better.
That is Cornelius, and I think Vincent passing, maybe.
But an interesting race, I would say,
spin.
now that we have 30 seconds left. Who is that off?
I think that's Hugo, maybe, but it's not telling me who we're on board with, so I'm going to say it's...
It does look like Hugo, yeah, the blue and yellow car.
And now actually it's now telling me that Hugo is the blue and... Interesting. I don't know. We established earlier that Hugo was the...
Have we been lied to this entire race?
X-Max is going slowly.
And is X-Max out of fuel? Of the early stoppers? Might have stopped a bit too early.
What's he doing there? Because the leader is now on the final lap. It says he's on the final lap and he's coming around the last corner. It tells me a bit late, but I do think Jansen is about to win round number 4. So 4 from 4. He did do a 360 spin, but other than that, been completely untroubled. It says we're on the final lap now.
And once again showing that
it's a win.
He is one to look out for and the one to beat if you want to have anything to say in this championship in terms of winning. But Sebastian van den Heuvel extending his championship lead. If he is the one crossing the line now, it does seem like it is.
Yeah, P2.
Building up to Tristan Koning, who's gonna be gutted about this one.
There he is, P3.
As he crosses line P, yes. Is this direct now?
This is direct now.
Not a lot of change since the quali, actually. I believe P5 has been the same throughout the race, which just shows that it has been a difficult track to overtake on. And a difficult track to keep the cars on, as well, as we've seen a lot of people spinning around.
So Unholy Cake says we take P8. I'm intrigued to see the positions at the end of this, because I'm not sure we have exactly the right one. Kevin's apparently going to be 7th, but I believe that will be 6th, because Joseph never returned to the track. See if it changes. It didn't change, but interesting. I do think everyone will get bumped up.
Yes, and I was wondering if the final lap at the top meant that they had one more lap left, but it seems like it does not mean that. No checkered flag on the screens, but checkered flag in the race.
Yeah.
And now we don't know. Has everybody crossed the line?
Has everybody? Let's see. Vincent. Vincent has the car spinning in the background to finish. I think Hugo is in the rolling. I think everybody has crossed the line, but the results are a bit confusing because Joseph definitely did not finish 6th because
he has been in the pits
yes.
for most of the race. So yeah.
There is
that Sebastian doing donuts?
I do believe it is, yes. and we're gonna join
Those
him.
awesome nice donuts. Gonna be joined by Hugo now. Haven't had the best of races, but when you're allowed to do donuts, you're of course gonna do one.
There we go.
What a nice race, I would say.
Oh, it
would
was
have liked perhaps a bit more battling and a bit less spinning, but can't always get what you want.
It was action packed. There was, yeah, that was
action, especially between Joseph and who was it, Michu Man,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. The accident we saw in the second to last corner, where they come together and spin around, not having an impact on the outcome of the race, but most certainly having an impact on the relationship between those two drivers.
I was trying to see if I could find a results page, but I don't see like I can. Oh, actually, is this a results page? Maybe. Here we go. There you go. So Unholy Cake took 5th in the end, followed by Vincent in 6th, 7th for Kevin. Mishitma got 8th, so we thought Mishitma was battling for 5th, but it turns out he was actually in P8. So that battle, so the crash he had with Joseph probably was full position, even though it looked like it was being lapped. So interesting there.
Yeah,
Leon P9.
Must then have been why he pitted just after the incident and then have left the race,
Yes.
or at least retired the car.
George Russell 10th.
Which is of course a shame, but
Hugo P10, 12. Joseph P16 in the end, Grits 17. So yeah, the timing definitely didn't update. But
no, but one thing I noticed is that if you go back a page or go up, we see that Jensen Bits has actually set a lap time a second faster than in quali, as well as Tristan Koning and Sebastian van den Heuvel improving their times overall. But once again, now that we are talking about Jensen Bits, dominating performance by him, 22nd lead. And Valdemar Dorag, one of the early drivers, did seem like he ran out of fuel in the end, but clinched on to his 4th position.
yeah, very.
And I would love to commentate about the other drivers as well, but unfortunately with it live timing that timing its own race, it was a bit hard.
Yes, it was having.
I would say.
Yeah, it turns out people weren't lapped as quickly as we thought they were. Maybe. Well.
But that's the conclusion of the 4th round here at Imola. And next week we are going to Japan. We are going to a racetrack that I will not try to pronounce if you can pronounce it right.
Ooh, what racetrack would that be? Let me have a look.
Can't even pronounce right.
Oh.
So lots of difficulties with language as well.
Difficulties? What track could we possibly go into? I'm not sure.
We're going to a track with a K.
Track with a K?
Yeah, and I would love to try and say it, but I am gonna pronounce it completely wrong. I'll try anyway. Kalia? I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to try and find the calendar now. So there we go. Give it a good look. Where's announcements? Is it somewhere? Where would it be? Where is this going to be so I can look at that? Where are you reading it from? I'm looking at the right thing here. Why are you...
But
where are you seeing
talking
that?
about next week, remember to follow the Instagram Anti-Stall Racing, same name as on Twitch. There we will announce the next week of the RSS series as well as our iRacing series, where we are driving Formula V as well as some oval racing in the Legend cars.
Oh, well, that sadly has changed this week. There will be GT3s on tomorrow night at Oklahoma, I believe, instead of the Legends, sadly, the next 2 weeks.
Oh.
But
well,
still, great
it tells
action.
you how much I follow the iRacing.
I only know that just because I commentate on it.
Yeah, but if you enjoyed this round, I would suggest watching the Formula V races as well. Very interesting. Small cars, low-powered cars, great battling, great racing. Spins as well. Very spectacular spins, 360s and everything. Just like in this race, but of course with lower-powered engines and lower-powered cars with 0 downforce, you're in for a good time, most certainly. Saw quite a big upset last week, so stay tuned for that. That will be this Sunday, actually.
Right. Okay, well, that was accelerating. Right,
yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We will see you. Well, I will see you tomorrow for the Friday night. Instead of the oval racing, it will be the GT special 2-week series. I don't know what it's called, but GT3 cars at Oklahoma tomorrow night at 7. I'm going to say UK time. Why not? That is, I believe, maybe when practice starts. No, I'm lying. That's probably when qualifying starts. We'll see you then for that.